us today. Today we're going to be cooking up something that is excellent. It's delicious. You serve it as an appetizer, or however you want to do it. It's great for parties, and it is pork belly burn-ins, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm glad you could join us. Sit tight, and we'll show you how we're going to cut this thing up, season it. Okay, so this is how we're going to cut up these pork belly to make burn-ins out of. It's pretty simple. All you're going to do is basically you want to get about an inch and a half cut on this thing, and we're going to go ahead and just slice it right here, straight as possible. Doesn't really matter. Now the cool thing about pork belly is that's where they get the bacon from. And as you can see right here, does that not look like a slice of bacon right there? Yes, it is. And that's what's going to make this particular barbecue so special. It's going to taste so great. You're going to enjoy every single bite. Your friends and family are going to love it. You can't beat this. So this is how you slice it, about a 1-inch slice. And then what you want to do from there is you want to go ahead and cube this thing up about the same thickness as you did the width on this cut. So we're going to go about right there. We're going to cut that up, and as you can tell, you can compare no matter which way I flip it, it's all about the same. So this is what you're looking for when you cube this thing up. I got the last couple to cut, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to season these up before we put them on the pit. And it's going to be pretty simple. Right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and use some of this Alexander's Texas Heat. This is some really good seasoning, and we're going to coat this with a good coat of it, and then we will put them on the pit. So here we go. Okay, we're back. Now, as you can see, I seasoned these up, and I wanted to get all sides of these burn ends. I want this to have a really good coat of seasoning, and so as you can see, every piece has a lot. I even have a lot of waste, but that's all right. I want these things to turn out great, and they will. These things got a lot of fat in them, and it's going to render down and really turn this piece of meat that you see in this pork belly really delicious and juicy. This is going to be a really good addition to any party or any event that you may be cooking something for. So I'm going to go put them on the pit, and we'll see you back in a minute. Hey, welcome back. And what a gorgeous day it's turned out to be. And I'm so glad to be bringing these pork belly burn-ins to you. Today we're going to be putting them on the smoke hollow. So let me open this thing up and put them on there. Yep, and we're just going to set them on this rack right here at about 275 degrees for roughly 3.5 hours. So stay tuned, and we'll be back. Okay, so we're back, and it's been about 2.5 hours, and we've had these pork belly burn-ins on this smoke hollow going at about 250 to about 260 degrees for 2.5 hours now. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up and let you take a look at them and see what you think. Oh yeah, look at those beauties. That looks good. Let me go ahead and get some spritz on these. Oh yeah, let me get a lot of spritz right there. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, well, we'll see you in about an hour. Okay, so we're back. It's hour number 3. We're going to take a look at these things, and I'm pretty sure I'm about ready to pull them, add some sauce to them, wrap them, and throw them back on here. So come on in and let's check these things out. Oh boy, look at those. Yeah, they're definitely ready to pull. And you know what I'm looking for is a good thick bark. I've got that right there. It's oh, these are gonna be so good. Anyways, yeah, these are ready to pull, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull them, We'll see you back in a few minutes as I season them back up to put them back on the pit. Okay, we're back. And I have to tell you, man, just looking at these things in the pan, they look excellent. As you can see right here, just perfect. This is what I'm looking for. Good moisture. You can see it right there. It's just great moisture. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of fat to this pan. And what this is going to do is just going to keep those burnt ends from sticking. And what I have here is just regular old butter, 2 ingredients. There's nothing, this ain't country crock, this ain't any type of margarine or anything like this. To be honest with you, if I had it right now, I would be using bacon grease more than I would be using a type of butter. So first things first, we're going to add some butter, and then the second ingredient is going to be honey. And yes, I'm going to put quite a bit of this stuff on. This thing is going to be sweet. It's going to be delicious. You're going to probably eat 10 of these. And this is some of the best food or best cut of pig that you could eat. And I don't care who you are. Next thing, we're going to add some brown sugar. And I'm going to put a little bit of a pretty heavy coat on this. Like I said, I want this stuff to be sweet and tasty. And I'm also going to add a little bit of heat with this Alexander's seasoning. So the next thing, we're going to add this Texas heat. And we're going to be pretty liberal with this. I want it to coat this top layer pretty good, and then as it starts to render down a little bit more, that flavor is just going to sit there and turn over in this pork belly burnt ends, and that's what you want. Last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and spritz this thing with some apple juice. You know, why not add a little bit more sweetness to this? I mean, it's going to be so tasty. You're not going to want to eat it. You're not going to want to have to cook it anymore because everybody's going to be asking for it. All right, next thing is we're going to go ahead and wrap this sucker. Get it as tight as you can. You know, there ain't nothing special about wrapping, but the tighter the better. So, you know, you don't want no big pocket like that. Let's go ahead and close that up, and guess what? It's ready for the pit. So join us in about an hour or so, maybe less, and we'll show you what these things look like. All right. Okay, so we're back, and after about an hour of wrapping these up and putting them on the barbecue pit, I pulled them off. We're going to pull the tin foil off. We're going to add a little bit more seasoning to these things just to make them extra good. And then we're going to put them back on the pit for about 30 minutes, I'd say. And these things will be plenty ready to go. And take a look at that. Look at that juice that's formed at the bottom. These things are magnificent. They're going to taste so good. We're going to add a little bit more sweetness to these things. The first thing we're going to start off with is a little bit of honey. And we're going to use just a little bit. You know, I just want to get a nice glaze on these things as they finish cooking. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to throw a little bit more brown sugar on there. Not a whole lot, but a little bit for sure. Just to pick this sweetness up just a tad. And that's really all I want. I'm not trying to get a real thick coat on these things with brown sugar. I just want them to turn out excellent. And the last, or well, not the last thing, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our barbecue sauce. And I'll have a video on how I made this stuff here. But this is just going to add an extra layer of awesomeness to this dish. So right now I'm just adding about a cup and a half of barbecue sauce to this. And then we're going to throw a little bit of apple juice. We're going to spritz it one more time. Why not? What's it going to hurt? Get some sweetness on that. And then we're going to put these things back on the barbecue pit. So all I'm going to do now is just take these beautiful burnt ends Put them on the pit for about another 30 minutes. Let this glaze really thicken and stick to these pork belly burnt ends, and then we'll take them inside and give them a taste. Okay, we're back and we're ready to pull these things off. This is, like I said before, this is pork belly burnt ends, and these things are ready. Look at that. Oh Lord, these are going to be so good. I mean, just look at this. Look at the juice that comes out of this. Oh yeah, tender. These are going to be so tasty. I can't wait. We're going to let them rest for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to take them inside and give them a good old taste test. All right, guys, we're back. First off, I just wanted to say thank you for joining in. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell, and hit the like button. And if you got any comments, please feel free to leave them. I don't mind at all. I'll respond to them. And I enjoy making these videos, and I'd like y'all's support. So let's go ahead and give these things a taste test and see how they turned out. This is pork belly burnt ends, and it took about 6 hours to get them to this point. And I have to tell you, just look how gorgeous that is. Look at my finger. I mean, this is perfect. And we're going to do a little pull on these, and you're going to just see. Look at that right there. Let me go ahead and give this a taste. Oh my goodness. This is some of the best food you could ever eat. Every little bit and morsel is great. Thank you for joining in. Guys, like I said, please subscribe. We're going to put out more content. It's going to get better. I've got a couple places that I'm going to be headed to, and cooking on different pits with different people. It's going to be great. Hang in there. Hit the subscribe button whenever you get a chance. And thank you.